not a game, it's a rich thing.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Blitz Sports Media. My name is Ryan Linkletter, and we got the big news that we've all been waiting for this offseason, and it is the New England Patriots adding their number one wide receiver for their young rookie quarterback in Drake Maye, and that guy's Stefon Diggs. Diggs is inking a 3-year, $69 million deal, an average of 23, I almost said 33, $23 million per year, heading over to New England as the team's number one wide receiver. Now, Diggs is 31 years old and coming off a torn ACL, but we all know Stefon Diggs has been a really good receiver throughout his career, has shown signs of regression over the last two seasons, but ultimately it is a major upgrade over what New England has had at wide receiver over the previous years. Stefon Diggs is a solid route runner, good playmaker, and something that Drake Maye has never had in his time during New England. I think it's just very exciting that they finally were able to get something done. We heard rumors of T. Higgins, Devontae Adams, other big-time wide receivers potentially being on New England's market, and they could still look to add another guy, but this is the step in the right direction that I think Patriots fans are really excited for. Let's dive right into the film and see why Stefon Diggs can be a massive help to the New England Patriots in 2025. Stefon Diggs' biggest strength as a receiver is his ability to run good routes, be able to work over the middle of the field, whether that is as a short game, whether that's through slant routes, underneath routes, crossing routes, stuff like that. He also is very good over the middle, 10 to 19 yards on intermediate post routes. He isn't necessarily the go over the top, go get it type of receiver. He is more of a tactician in the middle of the field, and this is a play against his new team where he absolutely cooks a cornerback right here around the 10-yard line and has a very nice play for us. Let's go check this out in full speed, and we'll break it down pretty quickly because Diggs just absolutely cooks him on this play for a touchdown. Roll this thing back right here. At this point, he's got the corner thinking that he is going to release outside for a corner route. Obviously, in man coverage, this is a tall task for a corner on a play-action play, but Diggs sets him up on the outside, does a quick turn to the inside for a post route, and he's able to get enough separation towards the end zone. And like I said, that is the strength with Stefon Diggs as he accelerates around the middle of the field, whether it is short, intermediate, and on this play, it's no different. Here's another very impressive play last season where Stefon Diggs sets up his receiver inside. Obviously, I mentioned his abilities to work in the middle of the field, sets him up inside, works his way out. He is at the top of our screen over here, and he is going to set himself up in an inward route. Look, at this point, though, the cornerback is expecting inside leverage from Stefon Diggs, and he still cheats inside, and Diggs ultimately still sets him up for an outside release where he is going to get the ball over there. I'll play it through real quick, and then we'll break it down. Gets that inside, breaks outside. I think that's Tyreek Stevenson that he cooks on this play. And this is just like, Stefon Diggs is a great receiver in his prime. He still is a very good receiver now at 31 years old, and it's partly because of this. At this point, he has separation despite Tyreek Stevenson cheating to the inside, which is awesome to start. If the design on this play was an interior route, Diggs and CJ Stroud could find a hole right around the 30 in between the safety and Stevenson for a good gain right around the first down marker. But ultimately, with the corner route, he's still going to find a way to beat him outside. And right here, CJ Stroud throws a beautiful ball. I mean, that's not an easy throw by any means, but Diggs runs a great route and gets a big chunk play for the Houston Texans, and it's due to Diggs being an elite route runner. A part of Stefon Diggs' game that's not really talked about is his ability to play within the slot and also be very good at finding spots in zone coverage and working very quarterback friendly, which is nice considering the fact that Drake Maye has not had a very quarterback friendly experience so far in New England. We're going to watch on this play where Diggs has a curl type concept trying to find basically a soft spot in the zone, feels it out right around the 30 and makes a nice grab right there. Let's kind of break this down a little bit frame by frame and why I think Diggs ultimately is a major upgrade for them right here. Obviously, with the zone concept, the quarterback is reading where the defenders are, where they're going to be. And then the receivers a lot of the time have route concepts to where they have a little bit of kind of freedom to where they could move into soft spots in zone depending on their route. What really good receivers do is they settle into these soft spots and not run their routes into coverage. right? This guy right here running across the field right close to the 25, if he keeps going, he's going to run himself right into a linebacker. He could settle there. What we see Stefon Diggs do here is he knows he has a safety over there, and he knows he has a linebacker to his right. Diggs is going to just settle down right around a 30, and then he's going to turn his head back to his quarterback and give him just enough time to fit a ball right there. We see Diggs able to do this with out routes, in cuts, whatever it is. Diggs is able to either stop his route, find the soft spot in the zone, and is able to work within the slot while also being a very good route runner and able to beat a lot of guys in man coverage. One of the biggest knocks with Stefon Diggs currently at this point in his career, and it's been the struggle of him through a lot of his career, is he's just not the player that's going to come down with the ball with a one-on-one contested catch. You're going to watch on this play, the film is absolutely horrible when you play it back, but he gets absolutely mossed at the point of contact here. We rarely saw the Texans ever attempt to play downfield with Stefon Diggs to where it was a one-on-one type throw. They left that for Nico Collins and Tank Dell. Diggs has absolutely struggled throughout his career, being able to go through and win at the point of contact on the catch, and it is something that the Patriots players don't necessarily have a skill set in either, so they're still looking for that receiver that can go up there and win one-on-one balls or even be a red zone threat where you just throw it up there and say, hey, I have X and X, and he's going to go up there and catch it. Stefon Diggs is not that type of player. He's a tactician type route runner, not a guy that's going to go over the top and beat a guy one-on-one in coverage. Now, Stefon Diggs still had a little bit of wiggle, as you guys will see on this play last year. He still had the ability to make some plays after the catch and make a defender miss. Didn't necessarily have the breakaway speed that we see out of some of these top yak guys in the league. And his yak numbers were down last year a little bit compared to his career average. But ultimately, my biggest concern was Stefon Diggs coming off of this ACL injury. Can he make a play like this where he fools a defender with a spin move and gets him on the ground? I don't think his athleticism is necessarily going to be the same as peak Stefon Diggs, and it's not like he was necessarily the most agile yak guy in the NFL like we've seen from like Tyreek Hill, for example. He's always been a route runner, catch it, get down after a few yards type of guy, not that breakaway playmaking ability, even though he makes a really nice move right here. He does get not too far after that. Like Diggs, this is one of my things that personally with Stefon Diggs is like great route runner, yes. Elite playmaker with the ball in his hands, no. And I'm very concerned post-ACL if he's going to have much at all yak ability after that. So that's a little bit of a red flag for me heading into next year in his age 32 season. Now, the Stefon Diggs edition definitely has a little bit of a ripple effect around the NFL, and it doesn't only include the New England Patriots. Let's start with them, though, because clearly this is all about the New England Patriots adding their guy. Stefon Diggs adds to a receiver room where it looks like he'll be starting alongside Kendrick Bourne and Mac Hollins alongside Demario Douglas in the slot as the Patriots' core wide receivers right now. Now, Diggs definitely helps this group. Don't get me wrong, but I would not be surprised if the New England Patriots look to go add another guy either in the draft at receiver, whether that is Ted McMillan, Travis Hunter, or they decide, hey, we feel comfortable, but we still are going to check around the market, see who else is available. A guy like Amari Cooper comes to mind, potentially even a Brandon Ayuk trade where they can go get a younger player versus Diggs. I know he's on the 3-year deal, but they could use some young talent in that receiver room alongside Diggs to play the Z position at receiver in this Patriots offense. Now, what I am interested to see, though, is if New England feels comfortable with this receiver room, which I really don't. I mean, it's mid. That's all. Let's just be honest. This receiver room is very mid, even with the addition of Diggs, and they need to get all the talent they can while Drake Maye is on his rookie contract. But this does give them the ability to address the offensive line problems that they have in New England, or even go get the best defensive player in the draft in Abdul Carter and go get an edge rusher who's probably going to be an elite player for 10 plus years. So it gives them more flexibility in the draft, which is never a bad thing. Having flexibility in the draft is definitely something you need. But ultimately, I think New England still needs to add to this offense. And some teams that I'm looking at that probably suffer the most from Diggs going there, it's the Dallas Cowboys. The Cowboys still have no clear-cut answer outside of CeeDee Lamb at receiver. It's almost forcing them into a wide receiver pick for their first-round draft pick because this is not a deep receiver class outside of Ted McMillan, Matthew Golden, Luther Burden, and Emeka Egbuka. none of the guys really are that special prospects that can go slot into the offense. And even Egabuka can't even fit very well in the Cowboys offense with CeeDee Lamb being a primary slot receiver. So it's interesting. I think the Cowboys desperately need a reunion with Amari Cooper to give them at least a little bit of flexibility in the draft. But who knows? They're probably going to lean wide receiver round one. But Diggs is a big domino that's fallen for the first time in a week. It feels like we finally got some big news with Diggs and Russell Wilson. If you guys are interested in checking out that Russell Wilson video, we dropped that on the channel today. Make sure you guys go check that out, though. Ultimately, though, as a Patriots fan, you have to be very excited about the Stefon Diggs news. Hopefully, he is the same player he was prior to the injury, and his progression starts to slow just a little bit, but he's still a really solid player ultimately. If you guys really enjoyed this video, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button for more Blitz Sports Media content, and I will catch you guys next time.